everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Season Talk. And today, our topic is going to be wisdom versus feelings. But before I get it, I want to introduce myself. I am Shirley, the host of Season Talk, and I have a special guest with me today, Diamond. How you feeling today,
Hi,
Diamond?
Shirley. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling honored. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you so much
absolutely. Thank you for
for
showing up.
inviting me on your podcast. I'm
Yes.
so excited and just ready to get into this season talk.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let's start off with a little notes that I have here. Sometimes our feelings talk louder than our wisdom. Feelings can rush us, mislead us, or make us miss patterns that are right in front of us.
Yeah.
But wisdom is patient, quiet, and consistent. Today we're talking about how to tell the difference between wisdom versus your feelings. So how you feel about that topic?
I actually love that topic,
Okay.
wisdom versus feelings. And when you first had brought it up, when you said wisdom versus feelings, my mind went to so many different categories or things that can relate to just in life in general.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I like that topic. And
Well, I'm
so,
glad.
when it comes to wisdom, especially it's like detaching your mind from your heart.
Your emotions mainly.
Yeah, in a lot of different aspects.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to jump into this topic. I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay.
That sounds
Let's
good.
jump on it. Feelings are emotional reactions, temporary responses to what we see, hear, or believe at the moment. They're real, but not always accurate. Sometimes we can operate off of our feelings a lot. I am guilty of that. I just want to touch on some examples where your feelings can be led by your emotions. Stand in bad relationships because of feelings of attachment. Your attachment is louder than the reality of how you're being treated. You want to chime in right there?
Yeah. And when you said relationships,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many different things. I know when a lot of people hear relationships, they automatically assume something on an intimate phase,
Mm-hmm.
or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my girlfriend and girlfriend and so on. But that can be a lot of different things when it comes to detaching yourself from relationships and holding off those feelings or whatever attachment that you have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of different things that can relate to. For example, when it comes to maybe a job.
Yes.
When it comes to a job,
Yes.
for
Yes.
example, I worked in the ER, and working in the ER, I was like, okay, I'm attached to my coworkers. I have that attachment to them. They cool. We all hang out.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to how I felt after work or feeling drained,
Yes.
I had to put my mind
Yes.
first, because I'm like, okay, do I want to continue to keep feeling like this? I don't like how I feel, but I like being there with my coworkers. I'm real cool with them, and I like the
Yeah.
environment, but deep down, I don't like how I feel. And so it took me sitting and thinking and definitely praying. It took me to
Absolutely.
pray. And I think that I finally got that aha moment because God was like, all right, it's time for you to go to another journey. And you have to put your mind first and not your. I know you like them. I know you got feelings, but
Yes.
you have to put your mind first and yourself first. And I think that was more of a logical move than an emotional move.
Amen.
So
Come on. Yes.
that's
I love that.
but that's just one example.
Yeah, but it's so funny because that was actually my second. When I researched this topic, that was actually my second bullet. Stand at
Okay.
a job that causes burnout. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes we stay loyal to jobs, and I am definitely guilty of that.
Mhm.
But when I tapped into that PRN life,
Yeah.
That was one of my ways, like, no more. And I'm at the point now, even when we talk, off camera about my other situation,
Mhm.
I'm not letting no job stress me out. That's the point where I am in life, is that, and that's where that wisdom comes in. That when we talk about feelings versus wisdom, I'm to the point where if it's anything that's in my life that's causing me to bother my mental health,
Exactly.
I just
You
I
have to.
can't. I
You have
can't.
to because if you ain't right up here,
Yes.
and as I'm getting older,
Mhm.
I'm really starting to understand what my grandma used to say. Lord,
Yes.
thank you for waking me up in my right mind. Because if
Amen.
you're not in your right mind and you're not going to make decisions, sound decisions, because you're not in your right mind.
And if you're not careful, feelings can take over.
Mhm.
You can just be, oh my God, I want to jump ahead because this is getting good. I
Mhm.
want to jump
Mhm.
ahead.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this question: when was the last time your feelings push you into a decision you later regretted? Because I know I got mine, so I'm going to let you do yours first.
Shirley, it's so many. Something that is not too recent, but something that is a couple of years. I was probably in like middle school. Let's take it back to like maybe
Middle school? Oh, you
Yeah.
going all the way back to the foundation.
You want me to? Okay, what generation? What steps do? Should I do middle? Should I do high school? Or should I do like most recent?
No, you can do middle school, because one of the topics that I elaborate on a lot is your foundation.
Mhm.
And your foundation and your upbringing most of the time controls a lot of the decisions that we make. And just to piggyback real quick, I'm gonna let you talk. Um I often share, transparency of how my emotions was not met, my emotional needs were not met in childhood, which caused me to operate a lot of my feelings because I just didn't know how to manage them. So you're right on point. Take it back to middle school.
And you know what? Now that you're saying that, and then when I think about, I forgot the medical term for it, but the different phases that children go through, and throughout their life. That middle school phase is probably one of the most phases where you're going to make the most irrational decisions based off of emotions, because you're going into that, especially middle school, high school. I say about that adolescence phase. Is where you really are going to make those, why did I even do that? And this is a crazy story, but it's a good story. But it's a story about where I lost my mind. My mom got me right back up after it. It's a funny story.
Okay.
Long story short, me and my friend, we were out. This was my best friend at the time, and we wanted to go see this. Now I don't watch scary movies no more, but at the time I was a scary movie fanatic, and the new Insidious had came out. Insidious had all of these movies back to back, so we was like, okay, we gotta go see it. Well, we were supposed to see the 7 o'clock show.
Okay.
But see, what happened was we got there and we was late and the tickets were sold out.
Okay.
So they was like, okay, the next one is not until 10. It's a Friday night, but still, we're probably like freshmen in high school maybe.
Okay.
So, okay, the 10 o'clock show. 10 o'clock show is sold out. Now, I'm supposed to be home by now.
Okay.
So they like, okay, the next one is at 1.
Okay.
Movie's about 3 hours. So I'm like, okay, bet. I don't call my mom.
Oh, child.
I don't text her. I'm just thinking I'm grown. I'm
You
telling you what
gambling
this.
your life.
So I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. So then she calls me. It's like 10:30 now. She like, Dime, where you at? I'm like, oh, we at the movies. Like, we just waiting to go into the movies. For some reason it was closed out, so we just bought the next ticket. It started at 1. She like, oh, no. What do you mean? No, absolutely not. You need to come home. I go, oh, well, I don't know no way to get home. Like, unless I'm going to figure out, I'm going to try to get home. She was like, okay. I still go to the movies. Irrational.
What in the world?
Irrational.
What
Still go to the movie. Now my phone did.
Oh.
So now I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm with my friend, and everybody in the town was at the movies. The movies was real popping at that time. So everybody there. I don't care. I'm on Glory. It's like 3 in the morning now at this point.
No way.
I finally called my mom on my friend's phone. She's livid. Like, I'm surprised she didn't call the police.
Because you're supposed to have been home.
Exactly. I've never done nothing like that. I don't know if that was like my first. I'm feeling like I'm a woman because I just got my menstrual. So I don't know.
What was your punishment?
Oh, it wasn't. Honestly, if I say everything my mom did.
I was just wondering because I asked that because, you know, we in 2 different generations. Honey, I wouldn't have been breathing, okay?
I say everything. That lady will, yeah. So, yeah. I would, no, I don't, but that was so, I was in my prime at that time. Yeah. I'm a freshman.
Yeah.
I'm popping. Mm-hmm. I'm cute. So I'm just trying to be outside. But no thought was put into that. Just pure having FOMO, fear of missing out. All my friends was there. I was feeling my friends, wanted to be around my friends. But I knew better.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. You 13, 14, and a freshman. You're not even supposed to, they don't even let you out that late. They didn't have curfews at that time. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I said at that time, it wasn't too long ago, but still, they didn't have curfews.
But you said
that was
something.
Irrational.
You knew better. Mm-hmm. Grown adults know better.
That's true.
But a lot of time, the feelings, the emotions, the flesh, we just sometimes want what it wants.
That's true.
So let's move on. So that being said, once we understand that emotions are feelings, we can begin to challenge our emotions. Yeah. So 2 ways you can challenge your emotions. Check the evidence. You want to ask yourself, is what I'm feeling, is it actually true, or is it just how I feel right now? Mm-hmm. This forces your brain to look at facts instead of impulse. My regret was staying in a relationship too long.
Okay.
When I know that the actions and how I was being treated, I should have been left. But a lot of times, feelings cause you to stay there.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. And it gets to a point. I don't know, but that's where once I finally sit down and I pray and things start happening, or people just start doing the most unimaginable things, that's when I'm like, okay, we need to detach. But there's so many different things that still to this day I'm still kind of struggling with when it comes to relationships and friendships. Mm-hmm. Cutting those ties with certain things. Yeah. Because it's like, we have that history. We have those memories. But at what point does it come to a breaking point? So where it's like, okay, I've had enough of you overstepping my boundaries. I've had enough of you not reciprocating my energy.
You know what's scary though? Because I have done this, and I have had people in my life that have done this. Mm-hmm. I think the question needs to be asked, how much are you going to take?
Yeah.
Because some people, including me, owning my truth, have stayed in the most horrible situations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But again, it comes with, not having that balance in your emotions versus what wisdom is. Is this good for me, or is this harming me? Yeah. And one of the things that I jotted down in my notes was, you got to look at patterns. Mm-hmm. You can't just look at the moment, because sometimes we get so caught up in the moment because it feels good to us at the moment. But we have to look, down in the future. How is this situation or this person or this circumstance or this job, how is this going to be beneficial to me in my future? Yeah. Is this guiding me to, or helping me grow into the person that I want to be in the future? Mm-hmm. Or can this be a hindrance? And when I say hindrance, we talked about feelings, you know,
Mhm.
versus your emotions, your mind, you
Mhm.
know. The mind is the battlefield, and every single thing that we do, even to how we feel, starts with a thought,
Yeah.
starts with the mind, you know.
Mhm.
Your mind regulates your emotions, you know.
That's true.
And that's one of the things that I am being very intentional about in this season is taking a minute. I'm looking at patterns, and that's with everybody in my life now. I'm looking at patterns. Is this good for me? Is
Yeah.
this changing? You know, did you hear me when I expressed my concerns? You know, that's the same thing with dating.
Mhm.
You know, meeting someone, you express yourself, your boundaries.
Mhm.
Are they honoring what you put out?
Mhm.
Are they honoring my heart? You
Mhm.
know, so if the answer is yes, the pattern usually reveals the truth your feelings are trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we stay attached because of the years of the relationship.
Mhm.
Who the person may be. Oh, that's just my cousin. Oh,
Mhm.
that's just my uncle or my
Mhm.
aunt. You know, we stay attached sometimes for the very wrong
That's
reasons.
true.
So I say that to say emotions are powerful, but sometimes they keep us stuck. But what do wisdom do? Wisdom help us move.
Mhm.
How you feel about that?
I love that. Wisdom definitely does help us move and continue to put your brain. But sometimes I'm also on the other side of like, I could use a little bit of heart in there too. Put my little heart, a little bit of feelings. You know how they say sometimes love is so delusional.
But love isn't, the craziest thing. I'm a woman of faith. I'm gonna always preach Jesus when
Mhm.
wherever I go. Um, if you don't have love, we don't have nothing. Love covers everything.
Mhm.
Love covers a multitude of sins. If you don't have love, you have nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to loving people, you can, and I never really understood this. You can love people from a distance
Yeah.
because I love you, but I can no longer grant you the access
That's true.
because the access that I'm granting you is causing me more harm than good.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna love you with the love of Jesus. I'm not gonna wish any harm, on you. I'm gonna pray for you,
Right.
but this attachment, I can't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not for every relationship or every circumstance. It's just depending on what comes with it.
Yeah.
What are you walking away from? And walking away is very, very, very uncomfortable. And I'm kind of
For
jumping
sure.
ahead, but I want to elaborate on what wisdom. What's wisdom? How do you understand wisdom?
My idea of wisdom is experience.
Absolutely.
I definitely, and again, as I'm getting older, I am realizing that wisdom does come with aging, and wisdom does come with different, and not even just aging, different experiences that you have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think of wisdom, the first word that comes to mind is experience.
Absolutely. And that's my definition. Wisdom is understanding gained from experience,
Mm-hmm.
reflection, and truth.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to see past the moment and make decisions based on patterns and not impulses.
Mm.
All right?
Patterns. I like that.
Yes. So, when was a time your wisdom told you the opposite of what you wanted to feel, and how did you handle it? Because you know how, like, did you go anyway?
Mm.
Did you talk yourself out why you should not honor the wisdom and just
Mm.
go?
Okay. I'm thinking. Nah. Um. Yeah. Definitely. So now we're out of the adolescence phase. We're in the young adult phase now. This is
Mm-hmm.
college,
Absolutely.
and I went to school during COVID, and so the very beginning of COVID, when everybody was still on campus, so I had just got accepted into the nursing program around this time.
Okay.
And the very beginning of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
or no, let's say right before this is like 2019.
Okay.
So everybody is still on campus at this time, and it's a lot going on, Shirley. When I say right before COVID,
Oh yeah, the world was
the
different.
world was
Before
different,
COVID.
and it was a lot going on.
Yes.
And there were a lot of different times when I wanted to go and do stuff with my friends. I wanted to go out and I wanted to party. And sometimes I did fall into the trap, but I made sure things got done. But this is where wisdom comes in, because I would like to consider myself a forward thinker, and I'm not just a in the moment thinker.
Okay.
And so around that time, I'm 19. And at 19, you either can go this way, you can go that way.
For sure.
It depends. It's kind of up to you too. Being that I'm 6 hours away from home, I ain't got nobody telling me, "Nah, Diamond, you gotta make sure you go to bed or study for this." I got free will. I ain't gotta pay no bills. It's popping. I got my car now. Like, I'm outside.
Okay.
But wisdom is where boundaries had to be placed. No, I can't go out. I'm trying to and at that time I was trying to get into the program.
Okay.
And no, I can't go to that. And then, you see the ones who will start falling back and don't want to, because they don't see the forward thinking. My thing is, I'm only here for a short time in school. I'm thinking about after school. If I'm really serious about being a nurse, I can't be outside partying every weekend when the temptation is there.
For sure.
They be partying in the hallway. So, like,
in the hallway?
This is Morgan. This is Morgan State, the illustrious. It's a party somewhere. You look to your left or your right. Somebody's having something. And there's a lot of different things for you to do.
Yeah.
But, okay, this is temporary. This is here to lay my foundation.
That word right there, temporary.
Yes, this is temporary. This is to lay my foundation. So I don't have time to be just sitting here and chilling when I really have to go and make sure that I'm going to be a nurse. That's what I want to do. So that's where my wisdom came into play, because I had a mission. I was tunnel vision. That's what I wanted to do.
And that's really good. And you know what else? It just popped in my mind. I was thinking as you was talking, even down to wanting to start a business, or you just have some type of self-fulfillment goal that you want to do. You have to press past those feelings of procrastination.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to study.
Yes.
When you're supposed to do the research for the business. When that's a big part of it. That's where the wisdom come in. How is this going to impact my future? Time is moving so fast, and the wisdom that we should have is value your time.
Yeah.
I'm real big on my time now.
Yeah.
I try my best to, even down to like scrolling on social media. I literally had to cut that back, because sometimes if you don't pay attention, you just wasting time.
I am a victim of that.
And you could have been researching, the steps that you need to build, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to go back to school, search the colleges, search the curriculum.
Yeah.
It's, I'm just giving examples of how, just different examples of wisdom, versus feelings. And so how do we ignore wisdom? How do we ignore it? We ignore the red flags, we ignore it because it feels good. It feels good just to lay in this bed, and not open that book and study.
It always feels good to not have to do the work, or to not put in the work, or to see it from outside of the glass window, and you outside and you just looking in. It's so easy.
Yes,
that's just like. So I went to high school or middle school. My major, I went to a performing arts school, and my major was vocal, and so the main thing that they made us do every not semester, but you can split it up in the summer, or in the fall and in the spring, we had to do a concert.
Okay.
And so they was like, and you got to do it by yourself. Stand up there in the middle of this dark room with all these people, and stand up there and sing with over 100 and something people looking at you. And this is to build your confidence up. And let's say you mess up a note. It's easy for somebody, easy for them to just sit there and be like, oh, look at them. but you didn't see the background work that
Yep.
that it took to
Yes.
put in to study for that, to study those music notes, and to study making sure that I'm on key, and to practice this muscle, my vocal box, to stand up here in front of 150 something people in this dark room with this one bright light, and I messed up on one note. And that's all. Oh yeah, but it's easy to do that because you didn't. It's easy for me to forget about that because I know that I put in
The work. Yeah. And it's funny you said that because is jealousy a feeling?
Yeah,
For sure. And that's another thing too, I find that with women, we can be, let's just talk about it because we talk about feelings.
let's talk about it.
We can be jealous of each other.
Absolutely.
And that drives me crazy because one thing about me, I'm never a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
I will
especially
help.
us. Sorry,
Yeah.
Shirley.
Oh. Lord.
You know what I mean. That's it.
Oh, excuse me. But you know what? Right on the nose. Diamond, don't start acting up.
Okay, sorry.
But that is so true. And it's like, I don't have nothing that anybody can do. Even down to pushing myself to even do this.
Yeah.
This I had to overcome some fears. I had to overcome worrying about what people may think or say. I just had to push past my feelings of fear to do this, you know. And I'm glad you kind of elaborated the way that you did because that goes to, if you do the work, you can have whatever you, I ain't gonna say whatever you want because it's God's plan and timing. But whatever God has for you is for you. But how will you know what He has for you if you don't do the work?
If you don't do it. And I feel like, I'm going to touch on this for 2 seconds. I feel like God drops little, I call them little nuggets.
Yeah.
Them constant dreams, them constant visions, that constant song you keep hearing or the constant person you keep. Those are little nuggets that are being dropped to push you to walk on the line that you are supposed to be on. And when I'm constantly having that feeling, I don't never take it for granted because I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing because it don't feel wrong.
Yeah.
If it's confusion, then it's not for me. It's not of God. But when it feels right and it feels, I gotta just, say what I gotta say. Gotta put it out there.
Yes.
But when it feels like exactly how it's supposed to feel and it feels aligned, then that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And this is going right into my next topic. You've been spot on. You've been spot on.
I didn't even see the cards.
You
this
did.
is just a connection.
Yes, divine alignment. Yes. How do we think wisdom show up? Clarity, consistency.
Yep.
This one right here, I struggle with a lot, but I'm there now.
Okay.
Advice that doesn't always match your feelings.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
So it's funny that you said that. My previous episode, I had a guest on who was a very good friend of mine, who is a very good friend of mine, and I mentioned how she's not emotional, and I am very, not as emotional as I used to be, but I'm better.
Okay.
But I would call her, and she would listen, and she wouldn't respond with her emotions. She never told me what I wanted to hear. Not only her, it's just like you talking to like an older, elderly person. You may go to them and you may ask for some advice, but in other words, it's not a pacifier.
Okay.
It's not going to be what you want to hear. Because you know how sometimes we just want people to agree with us, to give us the okay to stay in the foolishness sometimes.
Yeah.
Or, to pacify the foolishness. But if you have that one person who will say, hey, I hear you, I understand where you are, but it's not right.
Yeah.
The biggest struggle for me sometimes is, and I'm not perfect by far, but on my journey with the walk with the Lord, sometimes I feel like I am misunderstood because I don't often always agree with some behaviors and some, things that are going on. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to treat you different. But if you come to me for advice, I'm going to tell you what the word says.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes or no. Am I always perfect in that area? No. I think for right now, my biggest struggle, and I've been asking God to give me the wisdom for timing when to, um, I guess, and what I'm trying to say is like, talk about the Lord,
Okay. Yeah.
I'll talk
Yeah.
about the Lord all day, but when you're trying to, lead people to Christ, timing is everything.
That's true. Yeah.
I had, and I still wrestle with this because I don't come from the most pleasant background. We all have a past.
Okay.
And I think sometimes people who know the old me have a hard time accepting me now, And I'm a work in progress every day, Do I get it right every day? No, but I know that my mind is made up as far as this narrow road that I'm trying to walk. And that's just, what I mean, that all the time the advice it does not always match, feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to always tell you. I have some students that call me sometimes. And they get mad with me. I knew you was going to say that, but you don't understand. Yeah, I get it, but it's not right.
Yeah.
And I'm to the point, also, if I ask you, I have been disciplined enough to adjust myself to accept the constructive criticism or the advice that I really, really don't want to hear. So that's what I kind of mean when I said that.
And so, can you repeat the question more? Because now I got a better grasp of the question.
Okay.
Can you just repeat it for me?
Yes, ma'am, Diamond.
Thank you.
I asked, how do you think wisdom show up? Oh, I did say that, clarity and consistency, but I elaborated on the advice that doesn't match your feelings.
Advice
how
that
does
doesn't
make
match
you feel?
feelings.
Yes.
Right. I think we always need a person or somebody in our life. Honestly, I feel like you should always surround yourself around people like that because that's the only way you can grow. I think that a lot of people that either cannot take constructive criticism or just any type of correction, whether it be out of respect, and if it's out of disrespect, then that's a different story. But any type of correction, those are not the kind of people that I want to be aligned with because again, that is separating the wisdom from the feelings. Of course, we want to, it feels good. Like we said earlier, it feels good to just lay in bed. It feels good. But when you're in the wrong, sometimes you may be so delusional enough to not even see that you're in the wrong, and you need that person to say, hey, like, this was wrong, and show you a different perspective. And I feel like a lot of people, especially grown adults, I'm okay with people that's still growing children, but once it gets to grown adults, and they every time you say something to them, they just don't accept it or they're not receptive to it, I take that as it ain't even personal. I ain't even gonna tell you anything anymore because that's a you problem, and I can't fix it.
Yes.
So that's like you were saying with the question. Sorry. Well, that's why I asked.
My senses going, but go ahead.
When people want to, because it's a lot of situations. It's a lot of situations where people will be like, let me tell you about this, and they know they wrong, and they call me because they know I'm gonna be the friend to tell them, girl, you were wrong.
Yeah.
But when they call, they like, I already know what you gonna say. Da, 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 da. And I'm guilty of that sometimes too. But then I ask, so do you want to hear what I really want to say, or do you just want me to be a listening ear? Because I'm never going to steer you in the wrong direction and be like, yeah, girl, you was right, when I know you was completely wrong. But if you just want me to be a listening ear and you just want to vent and you don't even want to hear my advice or what I got to say.
But you know what? Sometimes venting is good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I mentioned this before, when you call your person your safe space, sometimes all you want is just to get it out.
Yeah.
So just some advice, listen.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Do you want me to listen, or do you want me to say something?
Yeah,
I get them an option.
Okay.
Do you want me to listen, or do you want me to say something? Because if you want me to say something and I know you wrong and I know you right, I'm going to give you whatever is due to the situation. But if you just don't want me to say nothing, want me to shut up, I'm going to just zip it.
Okay. Well, there you have it from Miss Dottie. And I want to leave you all with a 3-part simple test to tell if you're operating in your feelings or are you using wisdom.
Okay.
Number one, speed. Okay?
Mhm.
Feelings. I want it right now. That reaction. I need it now. Right now.
Mhm.
Right now. Wisdom allows you to slow down.
Yeah.
Process it. Is this
Mhm.
a pattern? You know, am I operating off my emotions?
Impulsiveness.
Yes. Yes.
I have a
Yes.
bad habit of that. That's why my credit look the way it does.
Tell the truth.
Wisdom. Wisdom. That's why you need wisdom. If I could just be born with it.
Listen, I think most women have that problem, and I'll be the first to raise my hand. Okay, listen, I've gotten a lot better.
Yes.
Wisdom. Do not be using that code when you know. When you know.
Put
when
it
you
in the
know.
freezer.
You said put it in the freezer.
Keep it frozen because you will be in the
Lord.
situation that I am in.
Yes. But guess what? You're going to get through it. Because guess what?
Yes.
Self-aware.
Yes,
Self-aware.
wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm using my
yeah.
wisdom now, so now I
Yeah.
know.
All right. The second one. Diamond, you crazy. Second one, pattern check. When we talk about feelings, are we ignoring the history of it? You know? Wisdom demands you to review it. I mentioned it earlier. Challenge your emotions sometimes when you're trying to break out of habits and you're trying to, do new things. Hey, you got to challenge those emotions.
Yeah.
Get up, get out the bed, do the research, just do it.
Yeah.
Listen, the greatest teacher is failure.
Yeah.
You're either going to be good at it or you're not. And if you're not, then guess what? It ain't for you. Move on. Wisdom, right? And lastly, the outcome. Feelings feel good immediately and hurt later. Feelings, okay?
Yeah.
Wisdom. It may feel uncomfortable now, but it produces peace later.
Absolutely.
All right, and now before we go, I want you to share a little bit about your project and what you're working on.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for having me on here. It's been an honor. I mean, honestly, if this camera wasn't here, this is just a regular
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
So this
Yes.
is an honor, and I'm grateful. And I hope to be
Aw.
back soon.
Absolutely.
And do this again,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yes.
But again, my name is Diamond Granberry. I am originally from Buffalo, New York, currently residing in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a registered nurse, and also on the side, I am the founder of a wellness brand called Invigorating Care for Nurses, short IC4N. That is our acronym. And we are a brand that empowers nurses to make sure that they are caring for themselves as generously as they
And that's
do
important.
others.
Yes.
As I'm growing and flourishing into this nursing role, I am noticing that I have to put myself first in certain situations, and that's in a lot of different aspects when it
Yeah.
comes to nursing.
Yes.
And that's what empowered me to continue, because I started this brand in college, and I kind of put it on pause. But now that I have a little bit more time and I'm able to really put my all into this brand, I have an even stronger feeling for this brand because I can actually understand it as a nurse now and see
Yeah.
that if I don't put myself first and put my license first
That
for a lot
part.
of different situations,
Yes.
I would crash out.
Yes, and that's gonna be. I can't wait. That's the future.
Mhm,
Definitely, we definitely have to talk
Yes.
about the field of nursing. But have your products
Absolutely.
real quick.
So yes, we just came out with our very first product that we came out with is a journal. It's
Yes.
called Invigorating Reflections, the Journey Journal.
Okay.
In the back, it says designed by nurses, really a nurse, me, for nurses, because I designed it for nurses, but this book can be for anyone, whatever journey that you're going through, whether that be in the healthcare field or whatever journey you're going through. It has a lot of different features in here. It features coloring pages.
Oh.
It has guided prompts.
Okay.
It has a word search in here as well. A burn page is our last page in the back. There's a lot of different things in here.
You said a
that-
burn page.
Yeah, so with the burn page, Basically, it says the power in the flame. This is more than a page, it's a transformation. And you write different things around the parameters
Okay.
about things that you want to let go or things that you
Okay.
want to get out. And you rip this page out. You be safe now if you burning it.
Well, let me
But-
burn it tonight.
But you can shred it, you can cut it up, whatever
Yes.
you do, just be safe with it. But that
Yes.
page is a release page, and that's why it's the
Yes.
last page.
Yes.
And we start off at first in the beginning with prayer because this
Okay.
aligns with my entire journey of becoming a nurse. And I wanted to put it out there for other people. And it took a lot of hard work and dedication and prayer. And I put it
Yes.
into that and into this brand. And
Yes.
hopefully by next year this time, we're going to be on some big billboards and
Listen,
Yeah.
speaking of
both. Yes. Y'all gonna see us. You see us now. You'll see us on some billboards. So, yes.
Absolutely.
You can follow us on all platforms. Specifically, we're on Instagram, Facebook. Excuse me, not Facebook. Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at I Care the number 4 nurses, and that's at I Care the number 4 nurses.
All right, and what about this?
Oh yes.
Got the badges.
These are our badges we will be dropping soon. And so you can put this on your ID badge. It'll be long, so your badge will probably be up here. And at the bottom you can see nurse. But these are our invigorating affirmation badges. And it has a bunch of different affirmations on here that says, one of them, I have a healing presence. I will take a moment to hydrate. Because I be forgetting. These are reminders to myself.
Yes.
I breathe in calm. I exhale stress. And I am living in my wildest dreams. Because it's easy to forget your why. But remember, you living in your wildest dreams right now.
Yes.
So these are for my nurses.
Yes.
And these will be dropping
And this
soon.
is my copy.
Yes, that's for Shirley. She got her badge too. But yes, thank you, Shirley.
Absolutely. You're welcome, dear. All right, so check out Diamond, and we're going to end right here. Remember, wisdom versus feelings. Do not be sitting up there staying in the same old pattern.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for listening. Catch you on our next episode. Bye.
Bye.